Good evening, everybody. My name is Edwidge Miranda Mondesir, and I'm here to update you guys from the past few days that have been going on. I sense my life is in danger, and my family's life is in danger, and I just want to share this moment with everybody. If I do die, or my mom dies, or my dad, something happened. Something bad happened. But just know that you guys know the truth. It's been here all along. They know that we will not give up this fight. I will not give up. I will not give up. This all starts from the kid who brought a gun to school. And I'm here to remind this because now that you guys see what's going on, it starts to show how much they're protecting this kid. They're protecting him so much because he has law enforcement in his family. And it's proven. It's hard every day. Ever since that time he sent me death threats from the 17. He would intimidate me from before. Before the 15, on November 15, that's when it really got bad. When he would fucking watch me all over campus. When I would be in the library, he would be there with his friend with the bat named Chris. Same dude asking for my address. This is all my evidence I'm pouring out to you people. It's all of it. I'm gonna start from the beginning. As I said before, the school. That happened. A police report was made on December 4th by Gio Leone and the other witness at school, Gio Tamayo. Sorry, forgive me. Gio Tamayo. They made the report on December 4th. The one in the police station, Gio Leone, made the police report with Caitlin Ochapinti. And on that same day, that's the same day my parents won their judgment with the court because the other party failed to show up. And my parents showed the receipts, the ledgers, all payments of our rent. It was shown. And the case was dismissed. It was literally dismissed. And that's the same day I had filed a police report with Deputy Matthew Rodriguez. It's recorded. I have the little card to show you guys. He took my report. It showed that I was no threat. That report. Right now they're hiding all the evidence. And the more as time goes, you take a look back. They're doing all of this to cover up their jobs, to cover up the whole incident that it never happened in Moorpark High School. All these people know each other. All these people know each other. Then they bring back the housing issue on June 3rd with random people my parents never seen in this Zoom call. It was the hearing for the court hearing supposedly was on Zoom. It was on June 3rd. They brought in people that we never seen, my parents. My parents said, we never seen them. That's what the courtroom brought in. People that my parents never seen. Then they're talking about missed payments on the first complaint they lost. And get this part. All they did was change their LLC and bringing up the same old matter, literally that first matter that was dismissed. That's fraud. You cannot do that, people. Especially when evidence was presenting to disqualify those allegations. It can't be brought back up. And that's the thing. They proceeded with a fraudulent judge. And they preceded that hearing because it's all money. As you guys seen on this YouTube channel, it's all connected. They did all of this to target us. So my family, fast forward to August 6th, my father filed an APP 151 that grants us our stay. That protects us. That keeps us safe to stay in our own home until a next judgment is made. No judgment was made until they decide the next judgment. And that's what I'm trying to explain about the APP 151. The plaintiff has to respond to the APP 151, or they had to respond to the judgment. because that's just that. You have to wait for the judge. You're not the judge. You don't decide. We have to wait as well. Me and my family have to wait until the judgment is made, along with the plaintiff. No, they just guard that. They move that aside, hided that file. They hidden that file that was granted for them to enter our home. Take a listen to this. To enter our home and steal that document, and then all this fraud bullshit to put onto us to make it seem like we don't pay rent when they stole all our money. They stole all our evidence, paperwork, and documents, all our phones, electronics of the recordings that we've had, but it's stored in the cloud. That's the only thing that they can't get through. And I need to tell you guys this. This is the reason why I'm recording, because I had to literally erase my phone around April 18, literally 3 days or 2 days after my supposed court hearing on April 15. I get an email from my dad's email. I'm in his email and I see that, hey, there's something for Ventura County for a hearing on March 13. There was no hearing on March 13. And I messed up, guys. Listen, I click the PDF and I accidentally download it. And from what I know a lot about computers because my dad, he used to fix computers, and I'll be showing you guys that as well. We are smart when it comes to technology. And what could happen when you click a PDF file and you download it, it sometimes has hidden malware within that. And that hidden malware could get into your phone and onto anything that is connected, like login free, meaning they could be monitoring and on it. So I accidentally clicked that, and I factory reset the whole phone, meaning I need my number back. I literally don't have my number back. That's how scary this stuff is. I'm scared for my family's life, and I'm scared for my life. That's why I'm sharing this with you people, because this is getting too far as you guys see it as it is. How can I attend school when they're blocking me, harassing my dad in jail, trying to force him to a fraudulent hearing where he won't be able to present his evidence because they're blocking him? They're not giving us the fair right to fight for ourselves. These people are demons in suits. It's crazy. They have no soul. So back to what I was saying. As I factory reset my phone, I wiped out everything. I wiped out everything except for the cloud. I wiped it out. So now I have no service. I'm recording this video here and I'm posting it as is, as if it was alive, because I cannot get into my dad's email without my number. I need that number to get in there. So I'm gonna get it soon, and I'll start going live frequently here. But in the meantime, soon enough, I'm gonna be going live on his Facebook. So now that you guys know why I'm recording, it's getting crazy, everybody. So they come in our home, they beat us up, they shoot my father, they steal our documents, they take my cats away. To this day, I don't know what happened to my cats, how are they, nothing like that. Nothing. I miss them so much. And it bothers me because I sometimes reflect like I'm just turning 18 years old. My birthday was on September 16th. They came 2 days after my birthday. They are plotting this, people. It's all retaliation because of the explosion. I'm exposing them right now. And I'm gonna continue, and they know that. And whoever, I know they watch it, because Deputy Rodriguez, when he took me into custody on September 18th, he sat down on the bench. He turned off his fucking body cam. He sat down near me. And then my dad, I could hear him on the live stream. I recognized his voice. I could hear my dad shouting. It was incoherent at the time because I was stressed out. I don't know. There was a lot of panic. It was a lot that day for me. He goes ahead and plays my dad's live stream in front of me. And I ask him, is that my father? He lies in my face and says, oh, no. I don't know what you're talking about. And continues to watch the live video of my father. As my father is pleading for help, somebody to help him. He's even willing to surrender himself to federal because this is all fraud. They're mocking us at this point, people. They're mocking us. And it keeps going and going. It's stressing me out. It's stressing me out. I don't know what to do. I need the media's help. I need the public's help to share this. I need the public's help into fighting this system. Not the whole system, and only these people in Ventura County that are targeting me and my family. They're gonna try to kill us one day, people. They're gonna try to kill us one day. And you guys are my witness. With this type of people, there's a word, mayabang, in Tagalog. It's the same as ignorance. And as you guys always heard, that the world is controlled by the devil. The devil owns this earth. Now, that's a metaphorical word, and I hope it strikes any viewer that is listening, because that's the truth around this whole world. It's money. That's all it is. It's to cover up. It's all paying hush-hush money so he doesn't get a record for his fucked up crime. Daniel Nathan Becerra committed conspiracy to commit a crime. 422 criminal threats. I forgot the PC code for attempted murder, but he did attempted murder. And he's walking away free. Nothing happened. He gets into another fight at his new school. Nothing happens. Like, what is this shit? I'm sorry for my profanity, but none of this makes any sense, people. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense how they're charging my family with these bizarre crimes that they're committing against us. Remember, criminal threats. That's why my dad is in an HPU. My dad never threatened anybody. They put that in my record. I had criminal threats. This is when they were shuffling around our files around December. So from November 23 to November 24, when my cellie left to go change to a different unit, they called me to change a few days later after. That, oh, roll it up, you're going to Todd Road, which is the other jail. I was at main jail. And I said, okay, that's where I'm going? They said, yeah, okay. So I rolled it up, meaning I got my bags, I got the mattress, and I walked out. You had to get out the room, take everything with you, and go to the front until they opened the little door, like an automatic slide door. I went out. I left my stuff on the side. They put me in a room. They took off my red band. They took off my red band, meaning I'm violent, right? Because I was in the violent unit, F2 quad. They took it off. They put a yellow band. And my month being there, 2 months being in red band, I used to hear stories that people with yellow bands, they tell you everything about the whole jail system. Yellow band means that you're incompetent or mentally insane. And green band means like you're high profile. And PC, which is protected custody, that you either snitched or did something bad. That's irrelevant to what I'm saying, though. But as I was saying, they cut that off. They put yellow band. And I told the deputy, excuse me, sir, what is the yellow band for? Because I'm aware of it. I'm testing him. I'm testing his knowledge to see what the fuck is he going to tell me. And he says, oh, classification. You just go there and, yeah, it's clean over there. And I said, oh, okay. As they're taking me downstairs to go into the van, they put me in a van, in a room. Literally, literally a car like this in a van with handcuffs. My handcuffs are not behind me. They're in front of me because we have to sit down. They're right here. There's a guy beside me, mentally out of his, like, literally like this the whole time. Like he's not there. He doesn't understand you. I didn't speak to him. I just stared at him because what the fuck are they doing putting me with crazy people? And not just that, more crazy people went into the van. Then they transported me to the Todd Road jail, where they kept me in the A quad, where my father is being held against his will as we speak right now. They're breaking his rights. They're bending his rights when they have no fucking authority to do that. So they put me in A2 at first, or A1, one of those sections. I stood there. It stink, everybody. The stench is all over the whole dorm. It's terrible. This is from my perspective. I'm sharing to you. It's terrible. It's fucking terrible. So they kept me in the room. They told me to go into the dorm to A14. That was my room. There's a 36-year-old man in that room. There's a 36-year-old man with his eyes somewhere this way, that way, with glasses. One of the glasses part is missing. And dude, his mind is so feeble-minded that it's the size of a 12-year-old or the 11-year-old. You don't understand how. Oh, there was something burning in me that day. My soul was burning within me that day. So I was so hurt. They put me in a room with sketch marks of schizophrenic drawings on the wall. On the wall it says, I love Satan. Some crazy shit like that. And then there's a picture of Jesus on the other side of the wall. Dude, you don't understand what the fuck I've seen. I've seen some crazy shit from people where I shouldn't have belonged. Neither does my mom, neither does my father. And right now, I'm showing you guys what the fuck they did to us in there. What they did to us in there. I had to stay nights in that room until they put me in my own room. But I was still in the HPU, mental health unit. Some shit like that. So, as I told you when I entered the room, it reeks. The toilet, a lot dirtier from Red Band. Didn't see none of that shit. The beds, disgusting. Disgusting. Not the mattress where you had to put the mattress. Literally, there's no mattress. It's disgusting right there. The walls, disgusting. It's the sink, disgusting. You can't even drink your water there, people. You can't drink from there because it's disgusting. And that's your only water. I swear to God, that's your only water in a jail cell. Is the sink. It's the sink. This is torture. This is treason. It's the sink. And it's disgusting. I swear, anybody viewing this will lose their shit in there. They would get so mad. So understand our frustration, people. It's not personal, what we're going through. It's what they're putting us through. Do you understand? If we come in a way that we speak, don't judge. Hear the whole story first. Hear it first. Hear it first, man. Because I'm going to tell you, this dude that I was Sally's with, man, 24/7, walking back and forth. Oh, my God. You have the door cell. And just think of a man, and you're in the top bunk, walking back and forth, talking to himself, saying irrelevant, ignorant things. I'm not there to judge him. I understand he has a sickness. I could clearly see that. But me, I'm mad because I don't belong there. But I kept my composure. I truly did. And you guys are going to hear the whole story. I would be there, laying there, so depressed, so out of it, praying to God. I swear, people, I was praying to God. And the way I brought closure to myself was that. That was my only motivation. And not just that, the only motivation I had was a good Sally and Red Band. He took good care of me. He told me that if I don't move, if I don't work out, you'll always be in the sluggish, depressed mentality. And I thank him for that. That helped me be strong today for who I am today and what I've accomplished these past 2-3 months. I'm proud of what I've done. This is how you fight This is how you fight crooked assholes. This is how you fight corruption when they're targeting your family. This is bad, people. This is bad. I would stay in the day room, completely different from Red Band. Red Band, you have your 4-hour day room. So in the morning, 6 a.m., you wake up, they open the doors, you have your day room, and then you clean. Sometimes everybody's scheduled to clean their own way. Sometimes you're doing the mop, sometimes you're cleaning the showers, sometimes you're sweeping, sometimes you're wiping the tables. Everything is organized. That's why nobody ever fought. That's how you keep yourself safe in jail. Everybody follows the same protocols. I'm not gonna lie, everybody, when I went there, I was nervous because I don't belong there. I don't know what would happen to me. All I could think about is my cats and my family. That same day, I was stressing the whole time. And my Sally told me, whatever that's out of your control, you must stop. You must stop trying to see that you could do something what's beyond your control. Wait until something's within your control to take action, he told me. And those words stuck with me today. That's why I'm where I am today. The stuff that I accomplished meant something to me. From then, what he told me meant something, and it means something now because it's happening as it unfolds through time. So as I'm in Yellow Band, I complain. I call my mom. I call my auntie because my mom was bailed out on September 24th. So I told my aunt that they put me in an area with mentally ill individuals that are not sane. They're insane. It's crazy, everybody. There's this guy next door that would just scream his lungs out, banging the door all the time. He would bang his doors, and every time they serve us, it was a plastic tray this time. Different from the like Tupperware plastic. This one was like plastic shred, like paper. So they would give him his lunch and breakfast and all that. Every time he had gotten and received his food, he would tear up the whole thing and throw it near his dorm. It was so bad. The whole area was disgusting. The whole area is just bad, people. And the guy is so out of his mind that he has to have his own day room on his own. And when he has his own day room on his own, you see him just walk out, start running to everybody's fucking doors. I swear, he starts running to everybody's doors, banging on it. One time he came to ours, because he's on the right side. Let's say I'm looking at my door right now as we speak, right? On the right side down the hall. He comes running down to our door, and I see him, and he's out of his mind talking like gibberish. I'm like, yo, why are they doing this to me? Why am I here right now? It was just so bad. And then the dude that's the Sally at the time in the mental area, he kept entertaining him. I told him, hey man, don't entertain it, because if you entertain it, he's gonna continue to be there and bother us throughout the whole time. Because this is I told him that because I've recognized his pattern of behavior. He doesn't like when people come to him and bother him a lot. That's why I told him, I warned him, like, hey, you don't want to antagonize him, because if you antagonize him, the attention, he's gonna like it, and then he's gonna stay there. So he started to listen. He listened. He's like, you're right. I'll stop listening. Sometimes that dude will listen, but like I said, I understand he's not all there, but I'm there to remind him. He would go ahead and do the walking back forth thing, and then he would yell when somebody having their other day room. He would yell out and tell them to suck their private parts. Tell another mental capacity person to, you get the memo. I didn't like to hear that. I don't like to hear any of that type of stuff. So why did they put me in a room like that? That's not normal. That's why I complained to my mom and auntie. I told them to call the watch commander or somebody because this is not cool. This is not cool. So they called. My mom and auntie explained themselves. What is my son doing there in that area if he has no medical history of mental illness? What the heck is he doing there? Then all they can't give us a specific reason. The last time I pressed the comm in the dorm to tell a lady, a staff, I told her, ma'am, what am I doing here? Why does it say I'm here for? And she said, oh, because your combative behavior. That's what it says. What combative behavior? I explained to her. They cannot explain anything to me because it's all fabricated. It's all in paperwork. They're lies. They don't have proof of it, as we do. We show you guys the proof. So my auntie finally got the chance to talk to an actual watch commander, and that watch commander came to my door, and I explained to him what happened on the 18th that day and what they did to me, and that's why I'm here. I told him, and I explained to him, like, I don't belong here, dude. I don't know. I was telling him, I was explaining. He saw that I don't want to be there. The door is disgusting. Just think of like gum under the table, but everywhere, but it's not gum, but like parts that look like gum. Just think of that. Picture that on the door and where they receive you your food. All of that is dirty right there, people. All of that is dirty. I was 17 years old, just turned 18. 2 days they come after my birthday. They put me into some situation like that. They put me through a situation like that. So the watch commander said he would do something. And what he did was take me out of that dorm where I could make phone calls on my day room, right? He took me out of that dorm, put me across from A2 or A1 just to go into the same dorm of mentally ill people and the same room, just in a different dorm. Room 14. They didn't want me to leave them. They were trying to torture me. They were trying to break me, but I don't break. I'm not them. See, they're feeble-minded people. To think this is cool and like you find it amusing to do this to somebody's family and them, you're weak mind. And this is how I'm gonna show you how they're weak minded. I go there. I understand what they're doing to me. I accept the situation of my faith, and I give my faith to God, and I pray every night after every breakfast, lunch, dinner. I give my blessing to him. I give blessing to God because I have a sense of God. I don't know what it is, but I know it's a being. And I know it's faith. And I know it's knowledge. So I'll give my faith to God. I took whatever that look in there. They put me in a room by myself. I was grateful. Even though they're doing me wrong, I'm never ungrateful of the situation that I'm in. And I thank God for every situation that I'm in, that he makes me stronger to fight anything. That nothing is impossible. Everything's possible to me. I just have to push myself. And that's what I did. And that's what you guys see. So they put me in my own room. It's still dirty. The place to drink water is dirty still. It's not going to be any cleaner. So every time I need to drink water, I had to keep pressing it. Let the water run and run to push out any type of, I don't know. Just like if it was a filter, you know. Just want to let the water run just in case you don't want to just drink dust completely. Particles. Yeah. The toilet was bad. You only had one flush. It was bad, everybody. It was bad. I would always have a book. I would read books, and then I like philosophy a lot, and that's the only thing that calmed my mind was reading about philosophy, or I had little podcasts talking about ancient Stoics and all stuff like that. Trust me, when it comes to knowledge, I love it. And what they're doing, they're robbing it. Not just mine. They're robbing my mom's, my father's education, and my brother's. And I'm glad my brother is attending his school, but they owe him his credits. They took all of that away. They took that all away. They took his credits away when he deserves his credits for he worked hard for them. Like I'm saying, they're destroying my family. My father wanted to be a cyber security specialist. As I told you guys before, we're familiar with technology, and we know how to operate them and fix that. And my mom wanted to open up her own little cooking business. They're in the way of our future and dreams. They're literally robbing that and taking it away from us. Oh man, I don't know what it is in their eyes that they think they could just crumble us like crumbs, like if we're nothing. They're nothing. Like I said, to have that mindset, to find people suffering and you find it amusing, you're definitely a weak person. And I would stay there. And I would stay. There was a man next door. He would talk to himself. I'm going to tell you guys what I would hear. And don't believe what he says, because I don't believe what he says. The man has clearly schizophrenia. He would talk about, oh, don't you know that your parents have voices? Meaning he's talking about everybody. He would even tell the deputies this. The deputies already know his bullshit and ignore it. And you have to ignore it because it won't make sense. And don't make sense out of it. He said that everybody has voices in their head that talk to them from the angels, supposedly. And that's why Los Angeles is called Los Angeles, because Los Angels. And that people or parents don't tell you about the people that talk to you in your head. You see, it's clearly a sickness, and I understand that. I'm like, wow, I'm in a dorm with people really out of it. So the best thing I could do is keep my composure and not speak to anybody. Because if you influence yourself with conversations like that, your mind will mold to that person's mind. And this is true. You could look this up. It's like how you hang around with a certain friend group. There's a chance, like I said, there's a chance your mind will mold just as that friend group. And then let's say you would go back to that old friend group. Your mind wouldn't be the same as that friend group because your mind molded as theirs. You guys have the same similarities and connections. That's literally it. So, as I said, you just don't talk to people like that. And whenever we would get food and I have snacks, like extra, I'd pass it to them because I see that they're hungry. And this is the most saddest shit that I'm gonna tell you guys. I seen it with my own eyes in the dorm, the next dorm that they put me in. I would stand at my door because my day room's finished and I could just see the TV. And there was a man walking around and he was eating out of the trash can. Digging in the trash can. Grabbing trays, licking the trays, throwing them outside and going there inside the trash again, licking trays, licking trays. Anything that looked like food to him, the man ate it in the trash. And I seen this. It kind of hurt me because I understand what the situation I'm in. It hurts. Seeing other individuals like that, it hurts too. Because that's not how humans are supposed to be treated. No matter who you are, American, French, whatever you may be, you are human. And you have your own rights. It's not crazy or wrong to talk about what's right and what's your rights. What's crazy is what they've done and what I've seen. So back to that guy, I went downstairs one time because it's my day room. I have my own day room by myself because I will not interact with anybody crazy. No. And when it's my day room, I just shower. I don't sit down and watch TV. I just shower, go back to my room. I say thank you. All I wanted was a shower. And there will be times where they know how to get to me. They were supposed to call me one time for my day room. They skipped me on purpose. When they know I clicked the intercom to let them know, hey, I just need to take a shower. I don't want to spend my day room. And that's it. That's just it. All I cared about was my hygiene, being in there. Just my area neat. Literally, when I would go in my dorm room, I would not take off my shoes or socks. Literally, let's say I went to go to bed, right? I'll put my sandals right there where I'm gonna, wake up and put my feet. I never step my feet on the floor. That's how disgusting it is. And then when I would work out, like incline push-ups, I would use my sandals, the top part where my feet go, because I never step on the floor, then step on my sandals. Never do that shit. And every time I shower with my sandals. It's crazy. So I would do push-ups with my slippers right there on my hand. And that was my routine every day. That, reading, and just trying to keep my mental sanity sane. The only way I could communicate with my mom and auntie was through the tablet with headphones. If I didn't have that, they wouldn't know I'm in the same room just next door in this type of situation. That's why they moved me. They moved me to that dorm so I can't make phone calls in the day room. I literally made a phone call when I got into there and I had my first day room. I made a phone call and I was calling, like, trying to call. It didn't work. The phones didn't work. And this is how I knew it didn't work. Because me and my cellie, back in Red Band, we would use our own booking numbers trying to make a phone call sometimes. It depends. We trust each other like that. Or to check what's in our bookings. So I check his and I found out I can't make a phone number call under his either. It wasn't just mine that was being blocked. It's the whole dorm. The whole dorm is basically supposedly incompetent, including me, where they can't make phone calls. And that makes sense. Like, as I said to you, people in there, they're all crazy. As I explained the details, it's pretty bad. And this is the same dorm where you can't make phone calls, and in the middle of the night at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., your lights dim, you hear a man, swear to God, has the voice of Mickey Mouse. Like, it's weird. Yelling, cussing, banging on the fucking doors. 3 a.m. Nobody would do anything about it. Nobody. Sometimes that type of shit bothers the other crazy people, and then they all both start doing it. They all start doing it, man. You can't listen to music because they shut down the phones at 9. You can't use the tablet because they shut down the phones at 9. Either way, you don't turn it in, the apps start to disappear. I'm giving you a whole layout of how jail was. Especially that part where I didn't belong. I didn't belong anywhere there. Even in Red Band, people will walk up to me and be like, what happened? I told them the situation, and they're like, that's fucked up. And they'll be like, you don't belong here. How old are you? 18. They're like, fuck, man. You have a long way to go. You have a long way to go. What motivated me in that dorm is the individuals that I met there. I never judged them for what they've done. And neither did I ever ask what they did, because it's not my business. I'm not there to judge. I'm there to get by. And there was a man next door named Danny Duncan Irish. This man, he had a past. You can't say he was perfect, and I will not judge his situation. But he would tell me about how Ventura County is filled with racists, and he's a white man. And he's telling me this. He told me, if you believe what is truly wrong and you're fighting, he told me to fight for it. Because you're not just fighting for you and your family, you're fighting for a democratic republic. You're fighting for the people. Remember, people, the power resides within us, the citizens, the people of the public, society. Without us, there's no government. That's just that. So he told me, if you believe in something, do it. Continue to write. Keep doing what you have to do to expose them. And eventually the truth will be out there. And I held on to his words. I held on to it. All these people, all these good-minded people that I've met that treated me with respect, that's all I ask for is respect, and you may get it back. That's the right way. Respect someone as you would want to respect yourself. It's like a mirror. You want somebody to respect you, you give the same respect that you demand for. That's just that. And never ever had we had fights in the red van. And just hold that thought, because I'm going to get to you guys after this. So back to what I was saying about being in the mental place. I was there from November 24th all the way to December 5th or December 4th, something like that. And I'm going to explain why. So, as I'm there, can't make phone calls. All I do is ask for showers, a little walk around, ask for the sergeant if I could see a mental evaluation person somewhere where I could take a mental evaluation, because they're putting me somewhere with no medical history of illness, and they're putting me there, and then they're asking for me to take medication. They came to my door. The same shit they're doing to my father, they did to me. They came to my door while I was in that area. Knocking on my door early in the morning, asking if I want to take meds. These people are like fucking vampires. It's like a vampire. They cannot just enter your home. They have to knock on your door and see if you would let them in. That's how evil these people are. That's exactly how they are. And I said, no, I do not take medication. I don't need medication. If it isn't vitamin or fiber to help me poop, because I was very constipated there. There's no fiber in the food. If it isn't fiber or vitamin to help me release stool, I would not take anything. Then they walked away. They never came back. And that's when I started to ask for evaluation. I would put in kites. Most of my kites would be ignored. And I would be asking, it takes like a day or 2 or 3 for a kite to be, received and give back to the inmate about the response. They never did that. It's like they're just throwing it in the trash. So I had to complain. Again, I complained on the phone, letting my mom and them know. And then they call the watch commander again. Why is he still in a place with mentally ill individuals? They still cannot give an explanation why. There's no documentations of me having to be there. There's no history of illness having to be there. No reason at all. And it's just terrible. Like, I had to cover myself a bit. Just think of you in the shower, right? This is the shower. On your left is a wide open thing. There's no curtain. There's no curtain for your own privacy to shower. And there's a door where anybody could look and peek, and that has happened. I had to literally stand sideways and kind of cover myself. As I'm washing, I'm covering myself, and I'm looking at that door. That's how my privacy was completely violated. It was terrible, people. It was terrible. You want to know what else is crazy? I've seen some nasty, crazy shit. I understand, listen. I understand you get very hungry in jail. But this man asked another dude for his bread, and they don't share the same day room. Meaning he's locked up while he's having his own day room, and when the other one's locked up, he's having his own day room. So this dude that was free, and my Sally and I are locked in our rooms, he asked him, "Hey, you're gonna eat your bread because I'm hungry. Let me trade you with something." And sure enough, they're having a little debate, back and forth. Then he decided, the Sally in the mental health unit, he decided to drop the bread on the floor, squish it with his hand so it's flat out, and slide it underneath the door where it's disgusting and shit. This floor is never mopped. That floor is never mopped. I was so shocked to see that because I never seen something like that. I never seen a man break the bread all the way down flat and slide it right through underneath the door, and then he eats it in front of us. He eats it in front of me. I literally see it on top of my bunk. I see that, and I'm shocked. I'm shocked. And then that shit was just crazy. And as time go by, I would be there in the cell waiting. The last book I could remember I read before they transferred me, and this is where it gets crazy. I was reading the Harry Potter book. I think it was the last J.K. Rowling book. Forgive me, I don't remember the name of the title, but I do know it's when Harry Potter has to get away from Voldemort. Sorry, I can't pronounce his name. And he gets around with the whole gang, like all his crew, all the wizards and all of that. They say that if Harry Potter doesn't leave at this specific time, his spell would be broken. The same spell his mom cast onto him for protection. And if he turned 17 or 18, it would be broken. And then all these demons, like Voldemort, will be able to track him down and target him. I gotta say, the beginning of that book was very interesting, and I enjoyed it. It helped me calm my mind. It made me laugh a bit. And I suggest that's a good book if you guys like books. And then one time an officer even saw me reading and enjoying the book because, once the tablets are done, you can't make phone calls, you can't listen to a little bit of music. So I said, why not read a book instead of just like working out all the time, because I do get sore. So I read the book and I draw my entertainment into it, and I was laughing. I was having a good time reading it. I enjoyed the moment. As I said, people, I'm never ungrateful for any situation that I am, because I find the good within the bad. That's all. I find the good within the ugly. That's all. And then the officer, he does his walk. They go ahead and they do beep. They have this little like thing, and they tap it on the wall. And basically when you hear that beep, it's like a timer resets until their next walk, like maybe another 10 minutes. And they got to come back and do the same thing. That's why they walk at night checking people's cells. So he passed by mine's. He did the beep, checking other people's cell because they're all crazy. But he noticed me. He stand there and he saw me reading. And like, wow, like he never seen that shit before. Yeah, you're not gonna see a sane person reading a book in a facility full of insane people. You won't see that. You won't see it like that. No, none of them. They never seen that shit where they work at. That's what I'm trying to explain. He knows I don't belong there. And this is the same man that I even talked to, the deputy. We gave a little chuckle because I said, man, he's always on his bullshit. Like, I'm not judging him, but the man that was talking about angels talking in your head and shit, He would talk about that 24/7. I once gave him a snack and I told him, hey man, don't talk about all that crazy stuff. That's pretty crazy. But here you go, take this because I see that you're hungry and I don't want it. I don't eat these, you know? And he appreciated it. I said, yeah, anytime, man. Like, if I have it, I got you. That's it. All I do is look out for people. All my life. That's all I've done. That's all I've done, people. I don't care what situation, who you are, what your past is. What matters to me is the present moment of who you show me, what your actions are. That's what truly matters to me, everybody. That's what matters to me. They did this to me to torture me, and they continue to torture. It's torture. So one day around December 5th or December 6th, one of those dates, they told me to roll it up in Todd Road Jail. Roll it up, you're leaving. And I said, where am I going? And I told them, am I going to main jail? And they said, yeah. So I rolled it up, got my things, walked out of there. But before I tell you that they told me to roll it up, finally, somebody came to my door, like a person that interviews your mental health. They came in, they talked to me, and they're like, Edwidge, telling me the questions about mental health issues, like, do you feel like hurting yourself? Do you have any prior history of illness or any of that, you know? And I checked out to be fine. Literally, I checked out to be fine. And then I told them in the past, yes, I was abused. And guess who I was abused by? DCFS. That's why there's a pending lawsuit going on. That's why they have a lawsuit. I was abused in their own care. And I reported it at a young age. Me and my brother reported it. They did nothing. The same thing that they're doing to us with Ventura County, with these fraud felonies, is exactly just like DCFS. Just like that. Same tactics. Just different way of operating. These people go very far in Ventura County. It's crazy. It's crazy. So after I checked out to do that little interview with her, she said she would be calling a man to see me soon. I said, okay, that sounds good. They see that my area is well organized. Everything's in my box because everywhere is disgusting. I'm not going to lay my things in dirty areas. No, I have a problem with that. I'm like a little germphobe. So after a man came and he talked to me, got to know me, and he said, well, I guess that was it. And I said, that's it? And he said, yeah. Then they called me to go out and see him again. And then he saw me again because the two ladies were having a conversation with me and see that I'm competent. Not incompetent. Incompetent is not there. So the lady was present with the man. They gave me a little talk and they're like, oh, I'm sorry to get you out of your room. And I was like, oh, no worries at all. I thank you very much, actually, because, oh, it reeks in there. It stinks. And today looks very well. It's a beautiful day and it smells a lot fresh out here. And the lady standing next to the man smiled because she understands that I don't belong there. It was a little sarcasm, you know? I like to use sarcasm in my conversation sometimes. And the man said, well, that's it. I was like, that's it? And he's like, yep. I'm like, wow, thank you. May you guys have a blessed day and a beautiful day. And bye. And I said, respectfully excused myself back to my cell. Then 2-3 days later, that's when they say, oh, you're transferring, roll it up in the Todd Road Jail. So I roll it up. I start walking. They put me in a room where I wait until they walk me all the way to the front. They put me in one of the reception rooms, but I'm by myself. And as they're like uncuffing me and stuff, the deputies in the Todd Road jail, one of them respond to me saying, "Oh, it was an error that we did this to you." No, it was no error. This was to torture me for my next hearing. That's what they did. Excuse me. This was the same time where I tried firing him around the December time. It's not the first time I've been trying to fire Kenneth Wixell. It's been like 2 years. Doesn't want to recluse himself from my case because he's doing fraud. I have every right, which it's the 8th or 6th Amendment, to be appointed by a lawyer. No matter what, there's always going to be a lawyer to be appointed to. And the thing is, they're not doing their job. They're wasting their own court resources. To put me in that area, me and my family, and this, wow, it just shows. I'm telling you guys what I experienced. It's a terrible experience. So they transfer me. I'm in a bus. They transfer me on a day where people have court. So these people are getting ready to go to court, and I go in the bus to be transferred. They sent me to the little spot back to main jail where you walk to go to court, and I saw another deputy where I would talk to in respect because he had respect for me. I told him, "Man, you wouldn't believe the shit they did to me. They put me in yellow band, bro. They put me in yellow band. It stinked, it reeked, man. There was a guy screaming late at night every day. Oh, man. Like, I'm shocked to tell him this. And he's like, fuck, he's like laughing because I told him, I thought this was how I told him, which is jail. I thought this was how I told him. Nah, over there, yellow band is hell. And that's when he gave a chuckle and he's like, yeah, it's crazy. And when I was walking down the hall, he said, "Stay safe, man, and take care, good luck." Something like that short. And I said, "Thank you, you too." See, there's not bad officers. It's just the arrogant, ignorant piece of shit ones that I don't like or have respect for. And it's that simple, everybody. It's just that simple. So they put me, as I told you guys to hold that thought about the F2 quad when I used to be in F2, how good it used to be. So they transferred me back, and I told them, "Hey, you guys should put me back in F2 because I get along with everybody very well there. Like, we literally share food. There's a guy that makes literally burritos, and I'll get to that later. He makes burritos for anybody as long as you have the stuff to make it." And I told them, like, they treat me with respect. I feel more safe and comfortable in that section. They said, "Well, I don't make those rules, but I could see what I could do," which is no. That's their little secret hint for no. And I get that. So they put me in F4, which is the dorm I used to see exiting F2 to go work out in a little gym. So I was in F4 in room 11, which was upstairs. And they say that the room is the same as mine's before, a little bigger. 2 bunks. The bunks are a little smaller. And the sink is a lot cleaner. The mirror and everything everywhere is a lot cleaner than it was over there in Yellow Band. I was grateful to enjoy my sense of peace there. That's all I want, is clarity of peace, tranquility, my state of mind. And I was very grateful. As I said, I give thanks to God as well for that. Then I went up to the window. There's this little trick, guys. You get syrup and water, and you dip it into the bowl, shake it up a bit. Use that little cotton from your mattress and stroke the window once, each section, like that. You leave it alone for a while. You'll be able to see outside your window. That was my only freedom. That was my only freedom, looking outside that window. The only thing that sucked at night is that I couldn't see the stars at night. Couldn't see the stars at night as I would be if I had my freedom looking up at the night sky, looking at the stars. Couldn't see none of that. I slept a lot better there at the time compared to Yellow Band. The reason why they did this so they could put me and fuck up my mind a bit, right? Damage me a bit. So my next court hearing, I don't have a clear mind. And my next court hearing was around December. That's why they transferred me to stay there for a while. And I explained to Kenneth Wixow when he saw me. I told him, stop doing fraud. He looked in my face and he said, oh, okay. And I told him, stop doing fraud. Do you know what they just did to me? I told him. They put me in Yellow Band with a place full of fucked up people, I told him. I don't belong there, and neither do I belong here. Well, what are you guys doing to me and my family? Why are you guys doing this to me? And he said, oh, you're violent, he told me with full resentment. Oh, you're violent. That you don't belong here? He told me. And I was like, all right. He said, oh, you're violent. Didn't you punch a cop? I was like, no, I didn't punch no cop. The cop came towards me. He punched me in my mouth. And out of self-defense, I protected myself. He hit me multiple times. So many times. Even including my head. He hit me in my head multiple times where I had movement in my sleep in jail. I swear to you guys. I would move and jump in my sleep. I would lay down. And I would be in a deep sleep. And I would shake. I swear, people, it's fucked up. I don't know what he did to my head, but he kept punching me when he came in. When they shot my dad, he punched me in my lip where I was bleeding, and then he grabbed my right arm. The other one grabbed my other arm, and then his left hand or right hand, Steve Donlon, he kept punching me in my fucking face, and then they turned me. Mind you, I just turned 18. These people are 300, 200 pounds. They throw me onto the ground as I'm dazed after those punches, and he keeps punching me in the back of my head, each side, like a few times, 2 times on the right and 3, 4 times on the left. That's how crazy it was, as he's squeezing his knees on my back right here, close to my neck, and then his other knee right here, then another officer's knees up here, matching the same exact parallel positions, along with my knees squeezing me. Like if they're trying to squeeze the life out of me, my fucking soul. You think that's right? Especially when they didn't have a right to come into your home. They showed no warrant in front of you when you have every right to see that fucking warrant along with the discovery. Like I said, people, this is fraud. And it went so far to the fact that they're lying to the media. I have all the proof here. But back to what I was saying of the story I'm telling you guys, because I can't just say, hold on to this, and then I don't talk about that part. So as I stated, I stayed in F4 for a while. And I told them, if you put me in F2, there wouldn't be a fight. And guess what, everybody? They put another man of my color in the same dorm that I was in. And they know that this guy doesn't take shit from nobody, and neither would they take his shit. This is what they do. They put people in different dorms so they could fuck with each other. So when that guy went into that dorm, when it could have been me, where no fight would have happened, could have been prevented, he goes in there, doesn't even spend a whole week there. He only spends 2 to 1 day there. And the reason why the supposed fight broke out, because the guy didn't listen to what they said about their program. He didn't want to clean. He was very rude and telling them to wait, because basically when somebody's day room is coming up and it's time to lock down, you must lock down, or you're wasting the other people's day room. Meaning if their day room was at 10 o'clock and you're wasting it all the way to 10:30, you wasted like what half an hour of their day room. And they won't like that. So it was some type of incident like that. Then they all got mad, and then they start all fighting. Then they jumped them. They fought. The dude that I got along with came to my dorm. I even waved at him because he knows me. They know me as Junior. We always work out. And I told him, like, what happened. And he explained how I explained to you guys right now. And I was like, wow. You see, and I explained to him too. And I told him, you know, if they would have put me there, that fight would have never happened. Because we don't fight. I literally get along with them. I go near their dorm door and we talk. And it was always cool. It was never some weird bullshit, you know, none of that. Thugging, none of that. No. It was all respect. And I told him, like, hey, man, like, that's some crazy shit. I'm telling you, they do this on purpose, because if they would have put me there, literally that fight would have never had happened. They just know what to do and who to fuck with, because they find it amusing. This shit is their entertainment. It really is. It really is. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's really crazy, people. I'm baffled out of words. And then around the December hearing, I had a hearing, and I was asking for an OR release. And then when I was getting my OR release, getting granted, the judge said, oh, the one with the incident with the family having an eviction problem. It's not an eviction. I tried to explain myself to her. She didn't want me to explain myself. She said, you either be quiet or you don't get this OR release at all. Like, she's threatening me that she won't release me when I have the right to be released freely to fight this from the streets. Excuse me. If we're criminals, why aren't we running away? I'm here to fight this, but they blocking my evidence, so how could I fight? So I had to take this to jurisdiction of federal, and I did. So I'm waiting on federal, but they keep antagonizing and harassing my father. Not just my father, all of us. We don't feel safe, and this is a warning, people. This is a video to let you guys know that we don't feel safe. We feel something wrong. Our lives are in danger, so if anything happens to us, you people know. You people know. You people know. It's just a lot. It's just a lot, people. I don't wish any of this to happen to anybody, but if it does, you know where to go. This YouTube channel. Any bullshit, any fraud that you've dealt with, fight and stick up for yourself. Especially when it has to do a lot about racism and your skin tone. Because this is all it is. This is all it is. They're perpetrating us, our behavior, the reaction that they're inflicting on us. The pain, the torture, the PTSD. They're inflicting it. And then they're twisting it, altering it, and showing the media how we're reacting to the shit that they're doing to us. This is some narcissistic behavior, dude. I never experienced some shit like that in my life. I never have. We have documentations to submit to the court. You know, when you're going... not going. You know, when you have evidence and you're going to trial or preliminary, you don't go to preliminary or trial if you have your evidence, especially when the DA doesn't have anything. You have your evidence to submit to the court. It has to be reviewed. It has to be submitted that, hey, this party has evidence within this party. It's been submitted. That's the thing. That's literally the thing. They want us to go to trial, to preliminary hearing, all those, so they could put their fabricated story and block out the evidence of the truth, submit their own narrative to deceive the whole world, and to tarnish me and my family's names and lives, just for the amuse of it, just for the satisfaction. Just for the satisfaction. So we don't fight back. So we can't attend to the lawsuits. That's what they're trying to do. There's something called statute of limitations, everybody. Look up statutes of limitations. That alone is about a deadline until you can no longer file a lawsuit. And what they're trying to do is steal our rights, so we cannot file or attend any lawsuits. You get it? They're trying to rob what's ours that they took from us. Mind you, my dead cousin's ashes, my family's money, which was worth $50,000 in cash in our home in a safe, is taken. They took in that. They took in my clothes. I don't even have the clothes that I had before that people would see. Everybody from Moorpark High School, the same clothes that I would have wearing, the same stuff, my skateboard, all of that, my shoes, the shoes that I bought for my birthday that came to my door are all gone. They took all of this. They took all of this from us to hush us up because they don't want that kid to take accountability for his fucked up actions. That's why me and my family are in this dramatic situation. Because they're trying to take our fucking rights away. When you understand this and when you learn more about your rights, it's a scary thing. It's very scary. That's why I'm warning everybody, if anything happens to us, you know the truth. You know the truth. You know the truth. And I'm going to show you guys the videos of these past few days that I've been having to go through. It's a lot. It's a lot. And in my juvenile hearing that was recent, around February 20th, and the last time I remembered my court date in January was January 10th was one of my first court hearing of this year. So after that was February 20th. No, it was February 14th. They arrested me. They lied to bail bond saying I was bailed out an hour ago. When I wasn't bailed out an hour ago, I was arrested in reception that whole night, where I had to literally undress myself in front of deputies, do the cough shit and the spread thing. I'm telling you, I shouldn't have gone through this, man. That all happened. That all happened. Then I spent the night there. It was very cold. I was shocked again. I was baffled because, you know, there's this paperwork that you have with you to go upstairs. And it's given to you by another sheriff when you go into the elevators. And when you hold that paper, you could faintly see some stuff because that's what the sheriffs read. So I'm looking at it, and it said, reason for arrest, none. You know what the little parentheses, none. So that's why they lied in record to bail bond saying, hey, he was bailed out an hour ago. So they could make themselves look, oh, yada, yada, praisey. Something very like hallelujah or heavenly. Nah. And then they had the right to mock me on the next hearing, which was on, so it was February 14th, and then there was another court hearing on March. I forgot what date of March, but I had a court date there. And then she had mocked me. She had mocked me. She had. And the person I'm talking about is Christy Peruso. So I get a reinstatement with bail bonds because they're not taking consideration of my commute when I arrived there around like 9:44 to 10:30 or 10 o'clock. No more than like 10 a.m. Just 10:30. They know this. Kenneth Wixell knows this. And then he appears without a 977, which is when you represent for your client. Because your client's on the way or something, you know, you give explanation of that. He did none of that. He did not perform a 977 when he has the opportunity and choice to. So this man's a grown man. He knows what type of choices he's making. So that choice right there, that action, perfectly opened my eyes that he's failed to represent me. He's not properly representing me. Therefore, he's not my lawyer. Therefore, that's why you guys are hearing about this Kenneth Wicks and why I've been trying to remove him for the past 2 years. They were waiting the whole time. They've been plotting some bullshit from September 12th. They said that there was a court hearing, but that court hearing is not even recorded. Then there was a court hearing on September 16th, which was on my birthday, that I attend, and they kicked us out, by the way. And it's on video. It's on video. You see, we've contradicted them so much. So much, people. It's stressful at this point because nothing's being done, and I'm putting all of it out there. And I'm gonna continue to put it out there. I really am. Until something is done. It's already going on 9 months. Nothing's being done with my father. It's bothering me. It's mentally bothering me. These people are so evil. I never thought this would ever happen. I never think that I would experience some stuff like this. And it truly shows that we live in an evil world. Yeah. So, after March, I had court on February 20th. I was there with my mom. And, I was there with my mom on February 20th in the juvenile court. And Kenneth Wicks was trying to take it a pre-trial while blocking my evidence that I have been trying to submit for the past 2 years. He's trying to submit it. He doesn't try to submit it, and I've been trying to submit it. And he doesn't even speak as like if he's my lawyer in court. It's all bot, that courtroom, J3, with Dino and Mirable, and many other judges that held the case and reclused themselves. And the reason why they reclused themselves from the case sometimes, these judges, is because they know fraud is going on. So when they recluse themselves, it makes it seem like they disappeared there and never even attending the case. That's why they remove themselves, people. So when you wonder why that judge reclused himself, and to be talking facts and you have evidence, they recluse themselves. That means they know there's fraud going on and they don't want to be a part of it. So they just remove themselves out of it. Therefore, it's not recorded. They don't even report this when they're court mandated. Everybody in the court is court mandated to report this type of behavior. Especially when you're wasting the court resources. Then you're violating the constitutional law. That's big. That's big, everybody. That's really big. So, on February 20th, my mom gets loud. She lets them know because they're doing wrong. And that's the thing. We're going to stick up for ourselves. We're going to talk our shit. We're going to prove them wrong in front of everybody. My mom got loud in there to the point everybody looked and applauded her. They clapped for her. They said, that's right. And then guess what? Kenneth Wixell has, oh man, so much shame. He walks away from me. Mad, just walks away. Because that's all he could do. Because what my mom is saying is the truth. She's telling the public that this guy has been assigned to my son's case for 2 to 1 year ago, right? Because that's how long it's been. For the past few years, he has not been submitting the evidence that was submitted to the court, in the juvenile court. He doesn't want to submit it. And then he uses up bullshit excuses. That's the thing, people. You don't do that in court. When you have your evidence, it's submitted then and there. Until the judge decides if they want to take it a preliminary or trial or not. Your evidence defend you and speak for you. What they're doing is totally illegal. Because they bribe people. This is all money involved to do this shit to me and my family. They know there's a lot of people involved. Meaning there's a lot of people that are going to lose their jobs. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of people that are going to go to jail. That's why they're